Most people spend their entire life chasing money, running after opportunities, trying to grab that next big thing. They hustle, they grind, they burn themselves out, and yet they never really get ahead. Most people grow up believing that if they just work hard enough, money will magically show up. They grind, they hustle, they pour in the hours, but at the end of the day, they feel stuck. The truth is, money doesn't reward effort alone. It rewards value. You can hustle all day stacking bricks, but unless those bricks are building something people truly need, the world isn't going to pay attention. And this is where most people get it wrong. They focus on being busy instead of being valuable. The marketplace is simple. It's not emotional. It doesn't care how many hours you worked or how hard you tried. It cares about the results you produce and the problems you solve. The more valuable your skills, your knowledge, and your solutions are, the more money starts flowing toward you. Look at the people who seem to have opportunities falling in their lap. They didn't get lucky, they became valuable. They studied their craft, they built relationships, they solved real painful problems for people. And because of that, the money found them. Think about it like gravity. When you become valuable enough, you create this gravitational pull that attracts money, clients, partnerships, and opportunities without constantly chasing them down. It's about shifting your mindset from working harder to working smarter, from focusing on hours to focusing on impact, from trying to impress people to trying to solve their real problems. The fastest way to increase your income is to increase your value. That means becoming a better communicator, a better leader, a better problem solver. It means investing in yourself, building rare and relevant skills, and constantly asking how you can deliver more value to the people you serve. The economy doesn't reward victims or complainers. It rewards creators, builders, problem solvers. When you shift your focus away from chasing money and toward creating undeniable value, everything changes. You stop worrying about what the competition is doing. You stop stressing over short-term wins. You start building a reputation that makes people seek you out. That's when the money starts to notice you. Not when you're hustling blindly, but when you become the kind of person the marketplace can't ignore. Mastery attracts opportunity in ways most people never understand. The average person spends their life dabbling. They try a little bit of this, a little bit of that, constantly jumping from one thing to another, hoping that somehow success will land in their lap. But the marketplace doesn't reward dabblers, it rewards masters. It rewards those who commit to becoming world-class at one thing. When you commit to mastery, you separate yourself from the noise. You create a gap between you and everyone else trying to do the same thing. And in that gap is where opportunity lives. The truth is, most people underestimate the power of focus. They think being a generalist makes them more flexible, more employable, more marketable. But the world doesn't pay for average, it pays for expertise. It pays for certainty. When you walk into a room and your skill set is undeniable, when your results speak for themselves, when your reputation precedes you, doors open that you didn't even know existed. Mastery builds confidence. Not the fake motivational kind that fades when things get tough, but the deep, unshakable kind that comes from hours, months, years of deliberate practice. When you've mastered your craft, you don't chase clients, you don't beg for deals, you don't compete on price, you command respect, you command attention, and most importantly, you command opportunities. It doesn't matter what industry you're in, tech, sales, coaching, real estate, design, leadership. The principle is the same. The market is saturated with average, but true mastery is rare. And because it's rare, it's valuable. People talk, word spread. Your name comes up in conversations you're not even part of. That's when recruiters call, investors show up, partners want to collaborate. But it all starts with the decision to go deep, to focus, to put in the reps. Long after the excitement wears off, mastery isn't sexy in the beginning. It's repetitive, it's frustrating, it's lonely, but it compounds. And as it compounds, so do the opportunities. You become known as the go-to person in your space, you develop leverage. You get to choose who you work with, what projects you take on, and how you spend your time. Discipline outperforms motivation every single time. Motivation is temporary. It's that spark you feel after watching a video, reading a book, or hearing a speech. It feels good in the moment, but the truth is, it fades. And when it fades, most people stop. They wait for the next wave of inspiration to hit before they take action again. But the people who actually win, the ones who build real wealth, real freedom, and real success, they don't rely on motivation. They rely on discipline. Discipline is the ability to do the work whether you feel like it or not. It's waking up early when you're tired. It's showing up to your business when the excitement is gone. It's following through on your commitments long after the mood you made them in has disappeared. Discipline is what separates amateurs from professionals. It's what turns average results into extraordinary outcomes. Anyone can work hard when they're fired up. Anyone can show up when the conditions are perfect. But that's not what builds momentum. That's not what builds mastery. That's not what makes money start chasing you. It's the daily, often boring, repetitive tasks that stack up over time and create an unfair advantage. Most people underestimate the power of consistent, disciplined action over time. They think success is about grand gestures or one lucky break, but in reality, it's about doing the small things right over and over again, even when no one's watching. Discipline builds habits, habits build character, character builds results, and results attract money, opportunities, and freedom, but you can't shortcut the process. You have to train yourself to do the hard things when they're hard, to push through the resistance, to stay consistent when distractions are everywhere. That's how you build an identity of someone who finishes what they start, someone who keeps their word, someone who can be counted on. The marketplace rewards that kind of person. Investors, clients, partners, they all want to work with the person who's consistent, reliable, and disciplined, not the one who shows up when they feel inspired and disappears when things get uncomfortable. Discipline isn't about being perfect. It's about being intentional. It's about doing what needs to be done, especially on the days you don't feel like it. Solve bigger problems to attract bigger rewards. Most people spend their entire careers focused on small, insignificant tasks that don't actually move the needle. They get stuck in the cycle of busy work, convincing themselves they're making progress, when in reality, they're just maintaining the status quo. If you want to separate yourself from the crowd, you have to train your mind to look for bigger problems. The marketplace is ruthless but fair. It rewards problem solvers. The bigger and more painful the problem you solve, the bigger the reward. This applies to every industry, every business, every career path. Whether you're an entrepreneur, an employee, or building your own thing on the side, the size of the problem you solve is directly tied to the amount of money and opportunities that flow your way. Look at the most successful people in the world. They didn't get rich by doing what everyone else does. They looked for inefficiencies, frustrations, and gaps in the market that others ignored or avoided. They leaned into complexity when others ran from it. They became obsessed with solving the kind of problems that keep people up at night. That's where the real value is created. And when you create real value, you become impossible to ignore. Suddenly, money starts chasing you instead of the other way around. People seek you out. Opportunities find you. Your reputation grows beyond your immediate circle. But most importantly, you stop competing at the bottom, fighting over scraps with everyone else. You elevate yourself to a position where you're seen as a leader, a builder, a solution provider. And when you occupy that space, the marketplace rewards you generously. But it all starts with changing your perspective. Stop asking how you can make quick money or get by with minimal effort. Start asking what problems exist in your industry, your community, your network that no one is willing to tackle. Start paying attention to the frustrations people complain about, the inefficiencies they accept as normal, the gaps they've given up on fixing. Those are signals. Those are invitations for you to step up, lean in and create real value. The people who do that don't worry about chasing money because they understand money is simply a byproduct of solving meaningful problems that matter.